What's cracking, trainers? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon GO Battle League content. Today's video, Sunshine Cup battle submitted to the channel by Legend Plush, who's rocking a super strong climbing team. That Sunshine Cup meta ain't for me, man. I can't get going in it, and that's why I'm glad we were able to find someone who could, because I would love to put on display some good gameplay here, featuring a team that has a Magcargo on the lead. Incinerate, Overheat, Rock Tomb is the moveset, trainers. It's the one you want to run with the Rock Tomb, being that Rock type move that gets that debuff. Overheat does debuff your attack, so be careful. If you're going to use it, just make sure you keep that in mind. We've got Ferrothorn in the back, locking down the Cordillies, the many ground types that are down in the meta, and it has Flash Cannon, and I hope we get to Flash Cannon something. And in the back, we're going to have that trusty, that safe switch, Shadow Flygon, that Dragon Tail, able to apply so much damage in this meta, it's ridiculous. Let's get into the games here, trainers. Let's go. Well, first game, we have our... Well, that's not good. We have Magcargo on the lead versus a Golurk, and we need to get out of there immediately. Flygon's going to come in and is doing massive damage. The opponent is on Astonish, so this would not have been a terrible situation for the Magcargo to be in. However, Shadow Punch going to do a lot of damage. The opponent is low on HP. Now they're going to come in with that Ferret. We got Scorching Sands on the Flygon. Going to go for the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is going to be doing some decent chip damage. Your opponent's going to respect the damage of the big move, but that means they're going to have to take a Dragon Claw now anyway. Trainer, knowing he's going to get the two moves, that's the best possible way you could have played that. Very nicely done, trainer. We're going to be going for the trick to get rid of the one-turn lag that I really need to remember to do. I cannot ingrain it into my brain to do that, but apparently if you want to stop yourself from getting one-turn lag when you have a switch coming in, you just tab out of the app real quick and come back in. I'll close the app. That's what will happen to me if I try it, so I need to practice a little bit, but these Trailblazes adding up, the opponent going down, the Ferret down, in comes Ferrothorn to lock down these two. Weak to the Ferrothorn, don't you even think about it for a second. Gonna shield up the potential dynamic punch. The opponent does full send it, and down goes Golurk. Two shield, or one shield. Where? Oh, yes, please. I have the button ready. Give it to me, baby. Yeah, and they concede because they know that's a good game. First game we land, the Flash Cannon. I'm having a good one. Chat, we got a Pidgeot in the lead. Very nice lead. The opponent doesn't have anything they can do to rock types. The opponent's going to bring in the Ferret, and the Magcargo stays in here, having to go for this Rock Tomb right away because the opponent does get to the Trailblaze. The CMP tie somehow Ferret. Little rope noodle looking thing he is. They call the dope rope. Little Ferret the dope rope. There you go. Flygon's going to come in to finish the Ferret off, though, and that leaves Pidgeot in a very tough spot because it has no energy to come back in this matchup with, and Flygon is inflicting massive damage with these neutral Dragon Tails. Opponent may be looking to go for a farm. They're saying, no, I don't want to take any more damage. I'm just going for this energy so that I don't have to shield, but now Legend Plush says, give me your Pidgeot. I'm going to go for the Dragon Claw. Take it out or do a lot of damage. The opponent going to let this go. They have to, right? Yep. Now whatever's in the back, it's the Swampert. Ferrothorn just says, howdy do. Hope you're having a great day. I'm sure you'll be on your way. Just go ahead and top left, trainer. You have Sludge, unless you have Earthquake and you land it twice. Most of them are on Sludge now. They have Hydro Cannon. This is game. Trainer's not unfortunately going to be able to get to the moves necessary to knock out, and they concede. Good game. You'll love to see it going into this next game. This was an 18-2 run, dude. That is insane. With a Ferret on the lead, this Magcargo is roasting it, doing a great job as well. Going to be able to do a lot of damage with this Rock Tomb. Ever since he got buffed, Rock Tomb is just a prime Rock-type charge move, being able to do a seriously good amount of damage and also get that debuff. Now, Rock Tomb is reached. Now, going to be going for it. The opponent can get to a Swift, I believe, but no, going for the Snipe, gets the farm almost. Has to give up a shield if he wants it. Rock Tomb debuff, saving Flygon's day here. Going for the Swift, it's only going to be a neutral amount of damage, and the opponent comes up with the Skeledirge. Trainer, Skeledirge is not an answer to a Flygon. Flygon is resisting these Incinerates, and he can just continue going in this matchup. The Incinerates do hurt, but the opponent's forced to use that energy. And now, because Dragon Tail's a 3-turn move, it can get to the charge move with 1 and then the move before the opponent's Incinerate that is 5 turns would register, because there's that 2-turn difference, trainers. Dragon Claw going to take out the Skeledirge. Opponent's down to one last Pokemon. It's a Magcargo of their own, and they can't switch out. This debuff is going to be permanent. You can only get rid of these by clearing them. The opponent lets it go, and they just know, they don't even care, dude. They're just like, I'm not going to do it. They could have won. They just needed to play it out. There was a Ferrothorn back there, trainer. But we have another Ferret lead. I don't know, actually. They probably wouldn't have won it, to be honest. Like, Legend Plush was in such a good spot. But I think that there may have been a chance that maybe those Incinerates hit just right. But then again, they did have debuffs on them, so it probably would have happened. Anyway, we got Trailblazing. Anyway, we're Trailblazing because I'm trying to find my way back into this matchup, right? So we're going to throw this Rock Tomb, getting the shield off the Ferret. Debuff now applied, and Ferret is going to get met. Oh, no. Why is this pink blob on my screen, bro? What is this thing doing here? Get this thing out of here, man. This doesn't have any reason to be here. Magcargo comes back in. It is resisting the charms. Opponent's throwing that energy, but Magcargo says, I'm staying alive. Ha, ha, ha. Staying alive. And going to get the farm down. The opponent's going to have to come in with something and take a Rock Tomb most likely, or Ferrothorn just comes in and has a field day. Is the opponent running double charm? Because if they are, they're going to be having a bad day. Opponent has the Steelix, and Steelix is going to have a very bad day against Ferrothorn. Opponent calls it! Kaboom! No, trainer. You're not getting away that easy. That Steelix is gone. Almost a full one-shot, and I'm sad it wasn't, but now the opponent, not having any way outside of these Sucker Punches to do any damage, goes for the Trailblaze, trying to increase the damage of the Sucker Punches, and unfortunately, all of the energy here on the from the Ferret onto the Ferrothorn here is resisted. Trailblaze double resisted. We're calling those every time. No need to shield those. Opponent maybe trying to make a catch, but the switch clock likely not up yet because they couldn't switch out, or they weren't sure about this Power Whip. The opponent gonna have to go down, and now Steelix... Didn't even know you were there, buddy. Came and went real fast. Next game, we got Magcargo sitting up against a Lopunny. This thing has double kick. Trainer, be careful. We're double weak to fighting types. And it doesn't matter, we're staying in. This trainer also, unless they're running Focus Blast, they don't really have any damage that can do much from the Lopunny, as normally they run Triple Axle Fire Punch. So, even though the double kicks are scary, this actually isn't a terrible matchup. It's actually much better to be here, as the opponent's not going to be able to use those Fire Punches on the Ferrothorn or the Triple Axles on the Flygon and back. So, of all the places for this Magcargo to be, this is the one we want, but we're going to be able to get into the Flygon. Opponent makes a quick switch, and it's Ferret. Ferret looking to try to take this matchup. Flygon says, nah, I'm fighting here, and this is my turn. I got energy first, bozo. Going to be taking that Ferret down under half HP. These Dragon Tails are ripping through the remainder of this Ferret, and Legend Plush looks to make a shield play here, looking to go for switch advantage. Potentially knows they can get the farm down. In a loaded... Bro, is that a Zangoose? I know Jonkus just did a video on Zangoose, but is this the team? Oh, Zangoose is so saucy. I love it. No, this trainer gets my respect. They're on Fury Cutter. Zangoose, no, trying to make a switch at the last second, but can't get there. And now we're in trouble. Ferrothorn has to get to a move. Does the opponent throw the close combat? Or are they just going for that Night Slash? Opponent goes for the close combat, but it's not enough. And in comes Magcargo. Magcargo gets the farm down on the Lopunny, trying to come in and get it, but the Magcargo going to be able to get the 2 Rock Tombs. The opponent's Fury Cutters, not enough. This has to be the opponent not having a move, going for 1 Rock Tomb, and then that's it. They have a shield. Once it's gone, if they don't have the charge move, it's over. Rock Tomb getting the shield. Opponent does not have the move loaded, and this is going to be a good game. That no charge, bad manners. Don't you stop that, Legend Plush. You charge that charge move, trainer. Good game. Oh, that was a nice 5-0 set out of an 18-2 run, and against Maximilian P himself. Very well-known trainer in the play Pokemon circuit, very talented, and there's a Magcargo lead into the Ferret here. Ferret is not something that we're scared of. We're going for this Rock Tomb. Opponent goes for the CMP. That energy not being thrown at the Flygon is a massive help. Like, this is best case scenario. If you're playing against the Magcargo lead, probably shouldn't go for this Trailblaze right away, because now you don't have any energy to throw at the Flygon. It just farms you down, and Flygon is going to enjoy seeing Skeletors. The opponent comes in with Cacturn. This thing cannot take fast move damage to save its life, and it's got a lot of thorns on it. But look at how much damage, dude. Look at the damage. This, oh my goodness. And in comes Magcargo just to take... Needs the Incinerate. Goes for the trick to make sure that we don't... Oh, okay, we're coming in with the Ferrothorn instead. I was like, oh, we're sacking the Ferrothorn because we know there's no use for this Ferrothorn. Opponent goes for the Trailblaze. And now in comes the Magcargo to try and get the snipe down, but is unsuccessful. Trailblaze, though. Getting shielded. Then Skeleturge comes back in. Gonna be going for this Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb, is it going to be enough? Opponent going for an extra fast move that incinerates number 4. Got some energy. Opponent, however, taking a ton of damage from that Rock Tomb. It is enough. This is Great League we're talking about, don't forget. I'm used to that happening in Ultra League where I'm using Credillia to throw Rock Tombs and it never works. Oh, what a lead, dude. Yes, they come in with Quagsire. Yes, we bring in the Ferrothorn because that's what we do. The opponent's got Aqua Tail and Stone Edge. It is all resisted here. The opponent not going to have much to do here. They're going to just take that. Stone Edge is not doing anything, unfortunately. We're just going to load up on a bunch of energy, probably load off this Power Whip. Opponent goes for a charge move right before. We're able to go for that Power Whip. Opponent going for that Aqua Tail, just trying to get a little bit of chip damage here. That Abomasnow is going to have a tough job ahead of it. And we're going to be looking to go for the Power Whip. Opponent's going to come back in with that Abomasnow. It is resisting the Bullet Seeds. But wait, we're full sending. Ferrothorn has a move. Doesn't want a shield. Oh! And the opponent's like, nah, bro, I don't want any more of this guy's hands. These are rated E for everybody. We get to run it back with another Mag Cargo lead into this Abomasnow opponent in shambles. They go for Credillia. Acid Credillia has absolutely nothing it can do here. And we have Flash Cannon. You can Rock Tomb us all day, trader. This meta is not going to give you a safe place to go. Going for the Flash Cannon on good timing here, making sure they get there right before the opponent is going to be able to finish that 5th Acid. Flash Cannon doing tons of damage. Doesn't even matter. The opponent needs at least like 2 or 3 more Rock Tombs to even threaten a knockout here. Rock Tomb, yep, not doing much here. We could just go for more energy. Maybe, no, we're going to go for the Power Up to play it safe. I was thinking maybe we try and make a play, but we cannot risk the opponent letting Mag Cargo be against a ground type. Now that we know that they have the Abomasnow, there's got to be something in the back that's going to be good against this fire type, and we need Mag Cargo to stay right where it is. Going to go for the Flash Cannon. The attack was dropped a few times, but how much damage does it do? Not nearly as much as I was hoping it would do, but it's enough. Letting this go. Opponent afraid of the Power Whip. Abomasnow has to let the Weather Ball go. In comes the Mag Cargo, the opponent going to unveil what they have in the back, and it is indeed the Mud Boy, and he makes the hugest call to not even come in with the Mag Cargo and says, I'm coming in with Flygon, it's double weak to ice, but I know the opponent is going to swap immediately regardless. They are tapping that spot on their phone, and I'm coming in with this Flygon to give the opponent a lot less energy, its head start, and it was a huge call that pays off for Legend Plush, looking to let this go. Make sure it's the Aqua Tail because those Stone Edges are resisted. Going for the Dragon Claw here to do some chip damage to get that shield. Opponent making a risky call here. The opponent shields up. Mag Cargo is looking to get a couple of moves in here. The opponent needs to not catch this energy. This is risky now. They got to go for it. Like, waiting for the throw of the Mud Shot to hit that Rock Tomb. The opponent not doing well here. Rock Tomb paves the way for victory. The Incinerates go, and the Abomasnow gets just melted into the ground. Good game. Oh, that was Chillis FM! Goated content creator, and we see a Piloswine. I tried Piloswine, and I got bodied with it. Maybe everybody knows the trick by now, but they save switch Credillia, and we have Ferrothorn for that, so who cares? We're going to have a good one here. This is going to be fine. Rock Tomb's not doing much. Probably there's something else in the back, like a Mud Boy. Probably very similar team to the last one. Was that? No. They just had that much energy, I guess. All right. I thought that was... No, it was CMP. Huh? Did they throw 2 and throw on CMP and I didn't notice? I thought they threw on 3, but maybe they threw on 2. I don't know. But anyway. Yep. Yep. There it is. Wait. No? They're on Bullet Seed. That's what I thought they were on Acid this whole time. All right. Yes. And that was a CMP. I'm just a fool who thought they were on Acid. I'm not on Acid, I promise. That would be a different kind of video. Anyway, Power Whip, rocking the Piloswine, bringing it down low. The opponent has to throw a move before they get to the Power Whip. Icicle Spear knocking out, looking to make sure we get that one turn. No, sir. Flygon comes in, is going to be forced to shield a Rock Tomb just because of just how much damage it would do to this already frail Dragon Ground type. The opponent now is going to have to... Oh, they got the attack drop, of course, from the Rock Tombs, so that makes even easier for this Flygon to just shield through this matchup and just Dragon Tail down because the opponent cannot get to another move, and they have the Piloswine, which gets bodied by the Dragon Tails. Let's go. Good game. Next game, we got Magcargo on lead versus Gligar. This is a deceptively good matchup because even though the Gligar's ground type, they're on Fury Cutter. And the opponent's going to safe switch immediately into Furret. I bet you there's Credelia in the back. The opponent, however, going for a move right away here. This is a brick. I would have thought it was a Swift. No, that's a Brick Break. The opponent has that fighting type coverage, which in this meta, with all the Furret running around, not a bad tech, to be honest with you. Also deals with the things like Ferrothorn in some regards. You actually probably have win conditions into that matchup. And now, knowing that they have the Brick Break, forced to make a switch into the Flygon here. And the opponent comes in with the Gligar, but the problem is this Gligar has Fury Cutter, and even though it has some fast move pressure, it's not stopping Flygon from flinging Dragon Claws, just flinging his claws off, molting, right? Just throwing these horrible, terribly heavy heaps of shed skin. I don't know where I'm going with this, but anyway, Flygon goes down. Gligar's in the back. Ferrothorn's going to come in, and the opponent has the Swampert in the back, and 2 shields aren't going to make a lick of difference here. Because these Bullet Seeds are going to do so much damage whenever they're weak in the front to Magcargo, or even if they're neutral in the lead to Magcargo, and they switch into something like Furret, I can guarantee you there's a Mudboy in the back. So just keep that in mind. You try to play a team. It's not even team. It's just, if the opponent switches out of a neutral matchup in the beginning of a game right away like this trainer did, it's a huge tell that what they have in the back is probably good into your lead, and so they're trying to get alignment. So if you see that, that might be a tell for you to try to play for alignment if at all possible. Gligar comes back in, and unfortunately, this Ferrothorn is loaded on energy, is going to be able to get this move off and then catch. Are we catching? No, this is the safest shield. It is the dig. The opponent full sending the dig, going for the Rock Tomb here. I don't know how much damage the Gligar had. I don't know if we could have farmed it down, but the opponent has no shields, so it doesn't really matter. The Swampert not getting to a move because it's got like 1 HP. That's going to be a good game. Well played. All right, next game. Magcargo looking down the jaws of death. That looks like a Quag side. Look at that Quag. Look at that Quaggy boy. Gonna swap in. Drampa comes in, but is Drampa bulkier than Flygon? Absolutely not. And Drampa just gets deleted. And just like that, switch advantage happens. Drampa is actually really interesting in this meta. Full sending a Scorching Sands, knowing we're not getting to 2 moves. You might as well fish for a debuff, right? Scorching Sands going to be hitting the opponent's Quagsire, and they're in shambles. They lose almost 2 of their 3 Pokemon, and Ferrothorn comes in to get that Bullet Seed through, absorbs this damage, no problem. Flygon, very, very good in this game. And then the opponent's got their own Dragon Tail Flygon in the back. And now, even though this is still not a great matchup for the Ferrothorn and 2 shields with the HP deficit that it has, because the opponent can simply just go straight for the Dragon Claw at this point, because by the time they get through these shields, we're not even bothering. By the time we get through these shields, they full send the Scorching Sands. That's bad. Can Magcargo hang on? It has to. With 2 shields, surely. We get to 2. They don't get the farm down because we're Rock Tombing them. I'm spiraling out of control. Just so you know, Rock Tomb is going to be able to get that last shield. The opponent not going to be able to get the 2 moves. Surely going to be going for it here. Has to shield this move. If the opponent has 2 moves, they win the game. Dragon Claw, and then they don't have it. Magcargo hangs on, has the move. Is going to be able to fire it off into this Flygon and take this win from, again, the Jaws. Do 2 ground types into a Magcargo, and it wins the game. Let's go. We got one more game for you. Trainers Gligar on the lead here in the last game, I believe. Based on the amount of time left in this video, Magcargo's feeling very good about this because the opponent needs to get to that dig, which they will not get to. Not that quickly. Or do they? Oh, wait, maybe this is Fury Cutter. I'm not used to this. It is dig. Never mind. I lied. I don't know these. I don't know it, but you definitely outpaced to the second because it is going to be about that. I would say it was 12. I got that looked like 12 or 13 to me. But the opponent now is not going to be able to get to the next move before the Rock Tomb is reached here. They get there at the same time. It looked like a CMP, but the opponent does not seem willing to give up that shield. Swampert comes in, gets a little bit of a head start. Abomasnow counters the Flygon. Flygon is not having a good time right now. Taking absolutely devastating damage from these bitter cold powder snows. The opponent getting that farm down, but now it's all about getting this Incinerate. This is a very... Dude, I wish I could be this disciplined. I would have closed the app 4 times by now in the time that I played these sets. Opponent going for the Weather Ball here. They were trying to get that shield. Now, this is another Weather Ball. I don't believe this is the energy... No, it's the Energy Ball! No! Ferrothorn comes in, has a job to do. The opponent brings in the Swampert trying... Huh? Do they at least have a move on Abomasnow? It's Sludge. You have got. Yep, they just confirmed. They concede. You basically you let them. Yeah, they needed to stay in with Abomasnow, but also not take a move. And that was just a 5-0. Just capping off another dude, a dominating run to the 2900s, dude. Congratulations, trainer. I hope you hit Legend soon. I'm about 600 elo behind you, but I'm slowly working my way down to get back up again. We're going to get there eventually, though. We'll strap in. It's just having fun at this point. Have a good one, trainers. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.